Now, Brussels Report, EU's editor-in-chief, Pieter Cleppe, joins us live from Brussels. Peter, what is the state of those pipelines right now and the leaks?
Well, the state is very bad. There are even possibilities that these pipelines will never be able to be used again. At least that is what the German government has suggested, I guess. I mean, we'll have to see. Of course, everything can be repaired if necessary, I guess. But the real question is who has done it, and that seems to be rather hard to determine. Most experts point at Russia, but even then, it's not entirely clear what the interest of Russia is. Of course, you know, these pipelines were a strategic asset of Russia because they sort of bypassed Central and Eastern Europe. Went directly to Germany. Some experts have suggested that it could be in the interest of Russian gas company, energy company, Gazprom. Why? Because it needs some kind of a justification in order to, you know, cut the gas flow to Western Europe. Otherwise, it risks, to have to pay damages, and this could dramatically burden its international standing. So that's, I would say, one of the more credible explanations. But the truth is that there is no smoking gun. There is no hard evidence that Russia has done this yet.
Okay, and just technically, how deep are these pipelines? For somebody to be able to make these explosions or whatever they were happen, what would that take, hypothetically?
Well, that's another interesting question. You know, people have been suggesting certain Russian submarines, mini submarines, whatnot, underwater drones, other kinds of Russian military equipment. People have blamed countries like Denmark for, you know, phasing down or phasing out their submarine fleet, which was a lot more powerful during the Cold War. Again, there's lots and lots of uncertainty. Nobody really seems to know for sure. There's only speculation. But what we know is that there has been an explosion, according to the Swedish government institution that is responsible for this. This is not a result of a natural cause of an earthquake or something. So somebody did it. But yeah, I think we'll have to exert some patience to get more of an informed insight. And if this appears to be a Russian action, which most people suspect it is, then indeed the second question is what to do about it. Is this an attack on the territory of NATO countries? It apparently happened just outside of the actual territorial waters. And then the question is this in international waters then or not? It's supposedly in the exclusive economic zone. What does this actually mean? Is this an attack or not? And if so, what is the proper response?
Yeah, and also, okay, so Nord Stream 2 was never opened. It was the newer pipeline. Germany said we're not going to open it because of Russia's attack on Ukraine. Not that a lot of people were that huge on Nord Stream 2 anyway, but Nord Stream 1, Russia had cranked down the supply to what, about a third of the flow lately, saying that it needed repairs, and it wasn't actually operational when these explosions happened. So if it is true, as you say, that these might never be used now, what does that mean for the supply of energy to Europe as winter approaches?
Well, that's obviously a big problem. News of today is that Russia is also restricting the gas flow through Ukraine. So that had been flowing to a degree. You know, at the end of the day, what we have now is that Europe is no longer receiving any Russian gas. I think a little bit to Hungary, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Greece. So we'll have to cope without Russian gas. And then the question is, okay, fine, you know, we'll get through the next few winters at a very high cost, perhaps loss of manufacturing industry. That's, I'm afraid, quite likely. But on the long term, what do we do about it? And then I think the conclusion that is inescapable is that, okay, why did European countries like the Netherlands phase out their own fossil fuel production? You know, you can be against fossil fuels, fine, but then it does not make any sense to only phase out European fossil fuels and then import fossil fuels from countries like Russia or Qatar or Algeria.
Yeah.
So Europeans will have to ask themselves these hard questions.
Yeah, really good to talk to you, Pieter. Thanks for your excellent reporting on this.
Thank you.